What do you think of when I say the words chocolate chip cookies? Maybe it takes you back to your great grandma's recipe that she used to make for you in childhood every Christmas, Thanksgiving, or birthday. Or maybe you were more of a store-bought family, so it makes you think of Keebler elves. Either way, I bet it doesn't make you think of teenagers of color not getting their arts in museums, but you know what? That's what Chips Ahoy wants you to think of when you hear chocolate chip cookies. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and the universe has gifted us with quite literally the best virtue signaling commercial I have seen in quite some time. We're gonna take a look at it because the cringe is off the charts and the comments aren't faring much better either. Before we do that, hit the subscribe button, trying to get to that 2,000 subscriber, the big 2000. But yeah, guys, this is absolutely bananas, or chocolate chips. Let's take a look at this commercial, shall we?
For many teens, creativity is their happy place, and they look for creative role models they can relate to. But
Alright, so out the gate, what would you think this is a commercial for? Because it certainly doesn't sound like it would be a commercial for cookies, let alone, Chips Ahoy. Let's keep going.
while 48% of teens identify as a person of color,
Identify. 48% of teens identify as a person of color. That's a very strange choice of words. Like, you either are or you aren't. You can't just start identifying as things. I mean, yeah, they want to make you believe you can. Oh, you can identify as a girl even if you're a boy, whatever. But identify as a person of color? Are we getting to the point where, like, companies are virtue signaling that openly racist? That is so strange.
only 15% of creative work in museums is made by artists of color.
Only 15% of creative work in now, mind you, we're talking about museums and things made by artists of color, but we're still not to the cookies yet. I want to remind you that this is a Chips Ahoy commercial, and what does it matter if only 15% of creative work in museums is made by artists of color? When's the last time you and your homies all got together and said, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's go to the museum. We want to have fun going to the museum. I don't know any teenagers that are doing that. I don't know any adults that are doing that because, let's be real, museums are a dying breed. Who cares what is in museums? Unless you're a Leonardo da Vinci or a Picasso, most people don't care about what's in museums.
Since museums represent a pinnacle of success for creativity, that's not such a fun fact.
Museums represent a pinnacle for success and creativity, unlike anyone else that's ever been successful in any sort of creative endeavor, whether it be movies or books or, again, art like museums, like anything that is creative, anything that, even industrial things can be creative. But sure, let's boil it down to museums. By the way, we finally got cookies on screen. We're 19 seconds into this video, and we finally have cookies on screen. So there's that. I hope this makes you hungry. I hope hearing about 48% of teens identifying as people of color have made you crave that sweet, sugary, chocolate chippy goodness.
Chips Ahoy is the brand that's here for happy, so we think teens' happy places should reflect them. We found an institution that's already leading the way in diversity.
62% of exhibitions on view feature artists of color, because that's what you care about when you do go to the museum, when you do take a girl on a date and you want to pretend like you're cultured, and so you say, hey there lass, let's go to the museum. When you look at that fine piece of art, the first thing that pops into your head is, I wonder what the skin color of the person that made this painting was. I got newsflash for you. If that's what's popping up in your noggin, that makes you the racist more than likely.
The High Museum of Art in Atlanta. We partnered with the High's teen team to launch an interactive AR experience to highlight creative work from more diverse artists and add.
Alright, so Chips Ahoy wants to highlight the work of more diverse artists. I am curious how this is going to help them sell cookies, because that's what they're supposed to be in the business for, right? Do you want to know, actually, one of my favorite commercials, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, one of my favorite commercials of all time is actually a Chips Ahoy commercial. It's the one where there's all the Chips Ahoy, the sentient ones, that are driving in a car, and like doing a road trip, and they're singing that "Don't You Want Me Baby" song. I'll play a clip of it if I can find it.
Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh!
That is one of my favorite commercials of all time. It was fun, it was memorable, and it came out like 20 years ago or something, and I still remember it to this day. No one's gonna remember this commercial except for maybe to drag on that weird period of time where every company got ultra political in spaces where it didn't matter.
Even more happy to these institutions. Scan the QR code to see the art and trigger a $1 donation from Chips Ahoy to fund art programs that support multicultural creativity. Up to
Supporting multicultural creativity. And again, look, if you want to support that, if you want to like dig into your own pocket and support that sort of thing, absolutely, go for it. But is anyone asking these sorts of corporations to virtue signal and do that? And I really am still just blown away at the fact that they're just so stuck on the skin color. Let's say you go to like one of those uncontacted Amazonian tribes and you show them Starry Night, you show them a Vincent van Gogh. You think their first thought is gonna be, did the person who painted this have the same skin tone as me? Nah, that ain't the way their brain works. Like, this is an absolute luxury of the first world, focusing on such inane concepts such as this. This is the racism. How did they not? I get, maybe they think they're doing good, but I highly doubt it. They're just doing this to a virtue signal. They're thinking, we're going to make money if we pretend like we care about little black kids. I'm sorry, that ain't how you make money. I can't imagine Chips Ahoy was hurting for cash. In times of a recession, cheap crap food is usually actually flying up the shelves because, you know, people don't have a lot of money, and Chips Ahoy are like $2 a bag or something like that. So I'm sure they're doing real good right now, hence the obesity crisis in America and in lots of other first world countries. The virtue signaling is so palpable in this.
a combined $15,000. In addition, we're donating $1 million over 3 years to Boys and Girls Clubs of America so we can help create a future that's happy by design.
Alright, we're a minute. Oh, okay, we're at the end. A minute and 1 second. I believe this is only the third shot we've actually seen of the cookies themselves. A 1-minute commercial. And we saw the cookies 3 times. But guys, it would not be an awful YouTube reaction video to a really ridiculous commercial such as this if we didn't go through the comments. And let me tell you, they're scathing. For one, I got the dislike thing on. This has been out for 9 hours as of recording this. Doesn't have a whole lot of views. 3 likes and 14 dislikes, one of me, me being one of them. So we got Icy Lightning here. How does the second most popular cookie company struggle this much? I asked the same thing. Anonymous Benonymous. Great idea, but where in the world is the overlap between multicultural art and Chips Ahoy? Just seems like an odd choice in a marketing strategy. Wouldn't it make more sense to donate the $1 million to food banks or have a campaign to fight world hunger one cookie at a time? I don't know, it just seems like a half-hearted attempt at being relevant. Absolutely. And I guarantee you this individual is probably of the left-leaning liberal persuasion, considering they do think this is a great idea, but even they are baffled by it. And then, you know, Jimmy responds, no they don't. Their museums are in their own country, the one they fled, and they refuse to accept our American culture to try to destroy it all. That's one way to put it, Jimmy. Oh my god, just stick to cookies, bro, because this ain't it. What's this have to do with cookies, Lamau? Yeah, cookies? Question. Yeah. Social engineering. Social contagion. Oh, the 7-second mark. Thank you, Chips Ahoy, for informing me how astoundingly better white people are at art. And then, last but not least, mega gay. Like, there's not a single positive comment on this list. That is actually impressive. I'm sure that by the time you guys see this tomorrow at 11 a.m. when I actually post it, that it's going to be even more destroyed. But this is a gift that absolutely will keep on giving. If we can go ahead, if we can make this go viral, if we can make this blow up, if we can talk about how Chips Ahoy is going to be destroyed for senseless virtue signaling. I actually pushed my original 11 o'clock video to 2 o'clock just so I can make sure that I got this to you guys in a timely fashion, because let me tell you, I wasn't expecting this. I got finished recording earlier, I was doing some editing, thought I was done for the night, was going to kick back and play some Fallout 4, and then this happened to pop up on my YouTube recommendations. First of all, why was YouTube recommending me a Chips Ahoy commercial? Your boy's on the carnivore diet, and even when I'm not on the carnivore diet, I don't like sweets. I mean, all my flub and fat came from too many carbs because your boy likes bread and salt and whatnot, so I don't even have a sweet tooth. I've never once looked up anything to do with Chips Ahoy, but I'm sure that, you know, YouTube is propping them up, paying them to get this sort of ad out there, or maybe they're paying YouTube, I should say, to get this ad out there, you know, to the masses, because they think this is going to be such a massive marketing win for them. This is never a massive marketing win. Like I get it, you know, little black and brown and minority teenagers aren't the same as Dylan Mulvaney. Chips Ahoy probably ain't going to go the route of Bud Light. I doubt we'll see any, like, massive massive boycotts, but if we did, wouldn't that be hilarious? I mean, because at the end of the day, I've never met anyone that's of the teenage persuasion, or regardless of their race, that was upset that their stuff wasn't in a museum. That thought never even occurs to the vast majority of individuals, mainly because it's the 2020s and all artistic integrity usually happens online or in some other various creative medium that can then be shared online. And that's if they want to do anything artistic or creative at all. Many teenagers are just obsessed with, changing their gender on a whim or playing the new Call of Duty DLC or somewhere in the interim between those two things. It is baffling to me that Chips Ahoy looked at what happened at Target, looked at what happened to Bud Light, looks at all of what's going on YouTube with the culture war and seeing everything going on in politics and thinks, teaming up with black kids to put art in museums, that's gonna sell cookies. There has got to be some massive oversight in the Chips Ahoy marketing team, and I cannot wait to see what more comes of it. Maybe we can check back later and see if there are other comments just roasting these, Chips Ahoy cookies. Now, I've never had a roasted cookie. It doesn't sound good, but these are some cookies I'd like to see roasted. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and while this one wasn't particularly nerdy, I could not help but share it with you guys because, again, sometimes the universe just gives you a gift, and I'm the giving type. I'm like Chips Ahoy, and I want to give back. I want to give back to you guys so you're aware of what's going on with the companies that you decide to spend your money with. But until next time, go ahead and find me on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon. Check out my new video dropping at 2 o'clock. It's a Captain Marvel video. It's going to be a doozy, and it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.